the headlines. The total of 8 suspects have been apprehended in connection with the murder of your attendant. Belts mining underscores the need for sustainable methods that safeguard the environment. Syrian presidency to send new force to halt clashes in South. This bulletin is live on our Facebook page, 5FM Radio Zambia, and our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. With the details, my name is Lance Sannie Banda. Following a swift and intensive investigations by the anti-robbery squad, a total of 8 suspects have since been apprehended in connection with aggravated robbery and murder that occurred on July 17, 2025 at around 03 hours at Ruby's filling station in Helen Kaunda. This incident involved a vicious attack by criminals on fuel attendants, resulting in the death of female Siveso Akaliwa and the serious injury of male Mapalo Mwelwa, aged 25. The suspects made away with an undisclosed amount of money believed to be the daily sales for the station. Police Public Relations Officer Ray Hamonga says among those arrested are the 2 security guards who were assigned to duty on the night of the incident and were suspiciously absent after the crime occurred. Mr. Hamonga says efforts are currently underway to recover the weapons, clothing, and other evidence used and worn during the robbery. He says police are confident that the items will aid in securing strong evidence for successive prosecution. Mr. Hamonga says the Zambia Police Service remains resolute in its commitment to ensuring that all perpetrators involved in this brutal and senseless act are brought to justice.
The suspect made away with undisclosed amount of money will be the daily sales for the station. Following swift and intensive investigations by the anti-robbery squad, a total of 8 suspects have since been apprehended in connection with this heinous crime. Notably, among those arrested are the 2 security guards who were assigned to duty on the night of the incident and were suspiciously absent after the crime occurred. Efforts are currently underway to recover the weapons, clothing, and other evidence used and worn during the robbery. Police are confident that the items will aid in securing strong evidence for successful prosecution. The Zambia Police Service remains resolute in its commitment to ensuring that all perpetrators of this brutal and senseless act are brought to justice.
Belts Mining Chief Executive Officer Belts Nkandi has reaffirmed that mining, agriculture, and nature can coexist, but emphasized the urgent need for sustainable methods that safeguard the environment and local communities. Speaking on the sidelines of the Invest Zambia International Conference recently, Ms. Nkandi said with the global population rapidly increasing, the demand for mineral resources is surging, and this places a moral responsibility on industry players to operate within the environmental, social, and governance ESG framework to ensure that development is not achieved at the expense of nature. Ms. Nkandu has commended the Zambian government for investing in aerial geological mapping survey, saying the exercise was long overdue and will help in attracting credible investors and guiding responsible exploration. Meanwhile, Ms. Nkandu has also welcomed the growing participation of women in Zambia's mining sector, describing it as a positive shift in a traditionally male-dominated industry. She said inclusive mining is key to unlocking the full potential of the sector and called for deliberate policies to support the advancement of women in mining. Ms. Nkandu has since called for capacity building, access to finance, and safety assurance for women working in high-risk environments. Belts Mining Limited is an Australian public unlisted company and owns various mineral exploration rights in Zambia through its Zambian registered subsidiary, Copano Mineral Resources Limited.
I think joint ventures with foreign investors is very important. Just like anywhere in the world, wherever you go, you need to acknowledge the custodians of the land and work with the custodians of the land. And by joining forces, it means that, it's not only the investors seeing a return on their investment, but we're also seeing the vendors, the owners of the land also benefiting significantly from that. And what I would like to see is not just job creation. I would like to see, participation on an equity level for our fellow Zambians. I'd like them to have some sort of ownership.
At the 44th annual general meeting of Shelter Africa Development Bank Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development Minister Engineer Charles Milipi emphasized the need for affordable financing and cross-border infrastructure to tackle Africa's affordable housing crisis. Mr. Milipi highlights challenges as expensive capital driven by biased credit ratings, lack of infrastructure connecting African countries regional development. He, however, stated that the solution lies in using housing bonds to secure affordable capital. He added that leveraging private sector support for housing estate development and government initiatives is to make land available for affordable housing projects, which are critical. The minister states that adequate and affordable housing is crucial for supporting development initiatives, particularly in rural areas. He says the Zambian government is committed to exploring ways to address these challenges and promote affordable housing solutions. Lusaka Mayor Chilando Chitangala has noted that the Charissa Skills Center in Mandevu constituency will be critical for empowering young people in the area with hands-on skills. Speaking during the handover of the facility, which was constructed with the Constituency Development Fund (CDF) to the tune of 1 million, Ms. Chitangala called for the youth to enroll and acquire skills which they can use in their businesses. The mayor observed that the training facility is vital for the area and stimulating economic development. She added rather that building the center locally has further enforced the sense of ownership in the facility, which is important for development.
The successful rehabilitation and completion of the center at a combined cost of over 1 million is a testament to the collective will, dedication, investment in the potential of our young people. This skill center is a hub of opportunity, hope, and also empowerment. This also represents a strategic investment in our most valuable resource, which is also the largest age group in Lusaka, our youth.
Education Minister Douglas Yagalima has lauded World Vision Zambia for the life-changing programs being undertaken to advance education in Namwala district in Southern Province. Speaking at Chibote Primary School in Niko village of Chief Nalubamba, Mr. Siagalima expressed gratitude to World Vision Zambia for the unwavering support and emphasized the importance of community participation in education. He equally noted that government alone cannot advance development. As such, the efforts being supplemented by the organization are commendable and should continue. Mr. Siagalima also visited a community-led early childhood education center supported by the organization's Reading for Education and Development Technical Program, ZRID-TP. The minister further stated that partnerships with organizations like World Vision are vital in bridging gaps and reaching every child. Throughout his visit, Mr. Siagalima emphasized the importance of community involvement. The minister challenged parents to encourage and support children to attend school by defeating bad vices such as early marriage and teenage pregnancies. World Vision, Zambia's national director, Mr. Mark Nussbach, reaffirmed the organization's commitment to working closely with government and local communities to ensure sustainable development. And in other news trending this evening, Good governance advocate Winter Muvombo has called on the Ministry of Local Development, Government rather, and Rural Development to intensify its oversight and monitoring mechanisms concerning how local authorities implement Constituency Development Fund (CDF) related activities. Economist and University of Zambia lecturer Lubinda Habazoka has advised youths to understand that education is what will bring them to salvation and not criminal economic activities. And in news from across our borders, the Syrian presidency says it will deploy a new force to halt the deadly sectarian clashes between Bedouin and Druze fighters in the south of the country. Syrian interim president Ahmed al Sharaz office urged all parties to exercise restraint amid reports of renewed fighting near the city of Suwaida on Friday. Almost 600 people are reported to have been killed since the violence erupted on Sunday. Government troops deployed to the area were accused by residents of killing Druze civilians and carrying out extrajudicial executions. And in sports news, newly promoted Leeds United have signed midfielder Sean Longstaff from Newcastle for £12 million plus potential add-ons. Who had 1 year left on his contract at St. James Park has signed. The move ends an 18-year association with Newcastle, having come through the ranks at the club. And now the weather.
Class Econ Roofing, plot 17100 off Katanga Road, 150 meters from Mumbwa Road, Chineka Industrial Area, Lusaka. Class Econ Roofing. Class plus economy. Class Econ Roofing Africa. Class Econ.
The evening is mainly clear, slightly windy, and mild to cool. Ends our weather report, and that item brings us to the end of the news part. Before we go, a recap of the stories that made headlines. Following swift and intensive investigations by the anti-robbery squad, a total of 8 suspects have since been apprehended in connection with aggravated robbery and murder that occurred on July 17, 2025 at around 03 hours at Ruby's filling station in Helen Kaunda. Belts Mining Chief Executive Officer Belts Nkandi has reaffirmed that mining, agriculture, and nature can coexist, but emphasized the urgent need for sustainable methods that safeguard the environment and local communities. And finally, the Syrian president says it will deploy a new force to halt the deadly sectarian clashes between Bedouin and Druze fighters in the south of the country. For more news, follow us on Facebook, 5FM Radio Zambia, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, 5FM Radio Zambia. On behalf of the entire news crew and the technical department, thank you for listening to the Happy Hour of 5FM. Stay safe and stay tuned to 5FM Radio. My name is Lance Sannie Banda. Enjoy the rest of the weekend.